What's up guys, Shayna Lee here. Today we are going to talk about corrective exercise. So we have 6 foundational movement patterns: squat, hinge lunge, push pull, and rotation. Okay, these are all movement patterns that we mimic in everyday life. We want to train these movement patterns to help make everyday life easier. Things like getting up and off the floor, playing with your kids, or just decreasing overall body aches and pains. Okay, so we're going to talk about the squat today because the squat is something that we execute and implement the most often and yet have the hardest time executing correctly. So what I'm going to do is break down some common things that I see and ways to correct it, so you can start incorporating this into your routines and getting those squats low while keeping those standards high. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is assess your squat. How does it look and how does it feel? I personally like to use the overhead squat because it allows me to look at dysfunctions from the feet moving all the way up into my chest and torso area. So what you're going to do is you're going to place your feet shoulder width apart, arms overhead, and you're going to sit down as low as you can in your squat in a nice, slow, and controlled motion. From the side. So in the overhead squat assessment, some common things that I typically see, if we start from the feet, well, we always want to start from the feet because once your foot hits the ground, that sends a chain reaction for how our body's going to respond and how it's going to move all the way up. So you always want to assess and start at the feet, because if you can change the movement pattern in the feet, oftentimes that can change how your knees move, your hips move, your spine, and your shoulders move. So one of the most common things that I see is a decreased range of motion in the ankles. So not a lot of people have mobility in the ankles to get down low enough. Their ankles lock them up and they're not able to sit low enough. Another one is as we squat down, the knees tend to cave in or mistrack. Then once we travel up into the hips, I tend to notice that we get this excessive forward lean, okay? And then that can tend to pull or bend the arms or drop the elbows, and the arms tend to come forward, okay, as we move up into the shoulder area. Now, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go over some things to help improve ankle mobility, okay? Get the glutes firing to prevent the knees from caving inwards, okay? Relax the quads or hip flexors and IT band to remove the forward lean, and open up the chest and lats to keep those arms nice and upright. So something that you guys can incorporate into your routine and get those squats improved. Before you squat, you want to try and relax those overactive muscles. Okay, so if you have a foam roller or a massage gun, you're going to want to incorporate some light foam rolling or using the hypervolter massage gun before you squat to help relax those overactive muscles and start to help those muscles that should be working activate during the squat. So we can start with the calves. Place the foam roller under the calf. Find any tight or sore spots. Okay, so I'm actively pressing my calf down onto the foam roller. This may not be comfortable for some of you. Okay, and if you find a tight or tense spot, you want to hold that position for about 20 to 30 seconds. That tells the brain to relax the muscle and essentially chill out. Okay, so once you've done both calves, you can work into the IT band. So cross one leg over the other. The bottom leg is going to go out nice and long, Your upper body is going to support you as you roll the side of the leg. Okay, you're going to want to go all the way from the hip down to your knee. Oh, right there. Oof. Ouch. From there, now you're gonna wanna get the hip flexor. Make sure you do the other side. Get into the hip flexor or your quad. You're gonna lie on the foam roller. Again, always working from one joint to the next. Find those tense or sore spots. Oh. Breathe through it. Ow. Yeah, really sore. Okay, once you've done calves, and T-bands, and the quads, move that into your lats. This will help with the forward lean. So your lats, essentially they start in the back of the arm and they fan all the way down into your lower back. So if you have lower back pain, oftentimes it's due to inactive glutes, a weak core, and tight lats. Again, find your sore spots. Mine is coming all the way up and under. Place your palm face up. Get under that armpit. This is great. It's so great. You guys are gonna love this. Breathe through it. We can do this together. Strength in numbers. Woo! Okay. Over that. Repeat on the other side. If you don't have a foam roller, you have a massage gun. Very similar concept. Just massage the tight areas. Make sure those muscles are in a relaxed position when hypervolting or using any sort of massage gun. These are also great for after workout and recovery tools as well. So keep these two things handy. They're very, very important. And oftentimes kids get the most. I am also guilty of that. So hypervolt and foam roll lightly, be for squatting and for body will thank you. Now that we've relaxed those overactive muscles, we want to start to engage or activate those inactive muscles during the squat to help improve that technique. So we're going to go through a dynamic warm-up and we're going to start with a Samson stretch. So you're going to kneel down 90 degrees in the front, 90 degrees in the back. You're going to shift your hips forward, okay? You'll start to feel a stretch here. Reach up and back. So you get that quick stretch and then switch. You'll do 10. Okay, shift that hip forward. Reach back. And during your dynamic warm-up, these exercises, these movements should always feel good. They should never feel rushed or painful. You should feel like the muscle is stretching through movement. And as you continue doing more and repeating the rounds, get deeper and deeper into your stretch. Okay. Now we're going to move into 10 bootstrap squats. So you're going to place your hands over your shoes. Okay, you're going to squat down as low as you can. My elbows are going to push my knees outwards, preventing my knees from coming in. So you're going to get a nice stretch and the inner thighs. Your shoulder blades are gonna go down and back. You're gonna try and lift your chest as your face comes down and your butt comes up. Good, lower back down. So my hands are never gonna leave my shoes as I squat up and down. Some of you may not move very much. My hamstrings are tight, so I can't get my legs fully straight, but you should be feeling this in the back of the legs. We're gonna do 10 bootstrap squats. Good. We're going to try and activate the core by doing 15 suitcase crunches. So you're gonna lie back. You're going to rotate that pelvis forward, okay, nice and neutral. Prevent this excessive curve in the spine. So pull that belly button up and in, okay? Place your hands behind your head. You're gonna extend your feet out, elbows wide. You're gonna pull those knees into the chest as you bring your elbows to your knees for 15 suitcase crunches. If you start to feel this in your lower back as you extend your legs out, just bring the heels to the floor. Remember, this is not about how hard you're working. It's about getting those inactive muscles to activate for improved squat technique. We'll call that 15 because I lost count, and for those of you that know me, I'm not the best counter. I always lose track. Okay, next you're gonna take a band and you're gonna anchor it to something heavy. Hopefully this is heavy enough. You're gonna do an L-sit resistance band row. What this is gonna do is this is going to help not only continue to stretch out the posterior side of the hamstrings, but it is going to help activate the upper back or the rhomboids as you row, taking some stress and strain off the lats. So you're gonna pretend like there is a string pulling you up nice and tall. Get those shoulders relaxed. This is not a shoulder to ear exercise, so make sure that you keep those shoulders down as you row to the chest. Okay, keep that belly button pulled in for 15 rows. Go. Don't force the resistance bands. Don't feel like you have to lean or overextend. That shoots the head forward. Just get a nice squeeze of the upper back and then control the band back. Make sure that shoulder doesn't roll forward as that band comes forward. Keep that shoulder pinned back as you come back into your row. And then release. All right, baby. 2 more. So I have a Slingshot Hip Circle, but any sort of glute band or small hip band will work for this. What you're gonna do is your next 2 exercises, you're gonna be done with your hip circle or your glute band, whatever you wanna call it. You're gonna shimmy it on and you're gonna place it right above the knee joint, okay? And we're gonna do 15 air squats, so feet are shoulder width apart. What you're gonna do is you're gonna make sure the band doesn't ever win, okay? You always win. So there's always gonna be a little bit of tension on the band. Prevent those knees from knocking inwards. Shoulder blades down, abs pulled in. As you squat down, you're gonna pull that band apart, okay? For 15 air squats, okay? During this time, you should notice those outer hips working. Do whatever you want with your hands. I don't know, but keep tension in the legs for 15 squats. He's always got me. See, my knees as I get fatigued want to Cave in, stay strong, and push outwards. Good. We'll call that 15. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna keep the band on your knees, and we're gonna do monster walks or side steps. Okay, so you're gonna pigeon toe your feet. You're going to sit your hips back, so sit your hips back, pigeon toe your feet, chest up, okay? And you're going to step to the side 10 times. Each direction, okay? In front, sit your hips back. Usually from this here, as well as here. Okay, 10 down, 10 back. Repeat that series 2 more times, and then you're ready to squat. If you happen to have any of these imbalances, give the light foam rolling and a dynamic warm-up a try, and over time you'll start to notice improved mobility in the ankles, the hips. Those muscles will start to activate for you. You may find that the weight you're currently working with starts to feel really easy because you're starting to recruit more muscle as well as the correct muscle. So that means you're sweatier and you're working harder and you're a little more winded. All really good things. Okay, give it a try. Give it a thumbs up because you love the workout and you love me. And subscribe, share with your friends if you see any of them suffering from any of this stuff as well. All right, bye guys.